the Travelers, and today we have a guest, and we're going to be talking about the Janthir Wilds. I some reason want to say Isles of Janthir. I don't know why, but that's a total different place. Uh, but we're going to be talking about the spears, the content that's going to be brought on with the expansion, and as well as just like little bits of here and there, and then the homestead. So I'm going to roll through real quick. And Serene is my co host here. And our guest is Zoa. And it's me, obviously, Kit. And we're sitting here on what, South Coast Sun?
South Sun Cove.
Yeah. Getting our rays on. Obviously, some of us need a little more sun than others. But, no judgment.
Like she said, she's a Norn. She's from the winter place.
Yeah.
We had to make her take vacation.
Exactly.
I've got a lot of sunscreen on.
Hey, that's protection is just as good. So, let's start off with just real quick a base thing of like, what has everyone been up to while they've been playing for right now? Like, like the pre-build up before the next 2 months, because about 2 months is maybe, well, now it's almost the end of the month, so a month and a half, before the expansion releases. So, what are you up to? What's your pre-build up of getting ready for it? And I'll start with Zoa since she's our guest.
She's the guest.
She's the guest. Go ahead.
Guess first.
Well,
Well,
real quick. Is everybody can hear us good? We didn't do a sound check.
Everyone should be fine. And
Okay.
double check with Ryan real quick. Hang on. Go ahead and talk Zoa, and I'll
okay.
check.
'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes I'm really loud, so it's fine.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see, what have I been up to? That is a good question. Well, I was looking into potentially making the legendary spear, but I did manage to actually finish my second legendary ring finally, the one that you have to get through World Reworld, so I finally don't have to like ever go back. um and then what else? I've honestly been playing a lot of Palia because I've been getting
Oh, that's a great
really
fun
into
game,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Otherwise just trying to like save up currency. Um yeah.
Just real quick, how about now? Is she all right? I turned her
Yeah,
down
am
a
I
little bit.
doing
It
a
was
little
because
bit better?
I turned her. I had you up at like 100 and something because
Who,
of last
me?
time. Yeah, no, Zoa. But now Zoa has a new mic, and I forgot to like adjust that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
Is it me?
I turned her down a little bit. No, you're fine. I just said
Okay.
Zoa. Zoa's
Okay.
loud because I had her loud because her old mic was quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, her volume's better. Okay, good.
I
Good.
see you also play
You do sound
Palia
better.
Kyoku.
Really good.
Thank you, thank you. I think I must have been because I got this mic like last December, so I'm trying to remember. Have I not been on the podcast since like?
No, it was like right before you got that mic. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Because it was I think it was like maybe November or October is when you came on.
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, like right before that.
Yeah. So I had you loud because your old mic was real quiet. It picked up
Yes.
the keyboard, but never your voice.
Yeah. Well, plus I think I usually went through like my phone, which is gonna be totally different. My earbuds are not like fantastic, so
No, I get you.
yeah.
And then Serene, what are your pre-build up? What are you playing in the meantime until the expansion? Are you there, or are you got the doggies barking because your mic's muted?
No, I muted by accident because I don't want you guys hearing in case they bark.
Oh, okay.
I'm muting when I'm not talking.
You're fine.
Beware. I have little corgis, so. No. Been like, cause we're gonna need materials for the housing, so I'm out harvesting from low to high, everything, and saving it, putting it in my personal guild bank, and just saving it, and that way I'll be ready for whatever they have us combine to make new materials and stuff like that. So that's what I'm out doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I just been playing and catching up on the rifting and building up a bunch of stuff so that when I am ready to make armor, I can have the the material ready, and then
And I've been doing that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever get that merchant
yes,
from the mastery from the last
yes,
update?
yes.
Oh, I still need to do that.
Oh, you got it's cool. You get every week. You can trade in stuff to get these extra packets, and you get 47 of them, and they give you all
Hmm.
kinds of mats. It's really good.
Yep. And then I've been also playing some other games in the meantime to get all my stuff out of the way. And then that's about it. I'm gonna try out Palia again because I saw that they had a bunch of new stuff since the last time I played was during beta, so you know
Yeah.
it
I think
wasn't
it's
that
still
great.
considered beta.
Yeah, yeah. At
Yeah.
least they have a
But
lot more since the way early.
Is it still free to
Yeah.
play?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll just go back and try it too, because I didn't like it when I first played it in the beta. I'm like, I'll go back and try it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I enjoy the quests in there. Like there's a lot of fun stuff that's in there. The character development and the NPCs I think is really neat. And then there's just like building your own house, which is fun.
Um, let's start off real quick with let's get the raids out of the way because we won't have a whole lot to talk about it because
There hasn't been a
it's
whole lot released
yeah,
about it.
yeah, right now. So on the page when you buy or whatever, it gives details of what's to come, and it stated that there was going to be a new, I guess, harder difficulty for raids. Plus, obviously, raids are coming back in general, and that we obviously don't know like how many raids or what new raid or whatever, or how many bosses. We just know raids are coming back, a new difficulty is coming back. So, are you excited about that, Zoa?
Yes, I'm very stoked. We've been wanting a Wing 8 for, well, like they said, like 5 years or more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm really excited. I actually, even though, like, as someone who mostly plays endgame these days, just like kind of like raids and strikes and fractals, I feel like I should be more excited for like, ooh, new mechanics, new bosses. I'm excited for story because the stories that they end up doing in the raid wings, I think are really cool. I'm excited to see if they're gonna do like completely new story that's like, I imagine it will have to do with like the theme of the expansion because usually the wings that they release relate to whatever expansion they're closest
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
But I mean, I do honestly, I want to know like what is going on with more like Kadim stuff. The what's going on with the Cardinals. I would love to know more lore about. Ooh, maybe we will get more White Mantle lore actually,
Yeah,
because
we will. Yeah, that's what it's if you watched any of the lore video or you played
Mhm.
Guild Wars 1, it's White Mantle and probably, more of that stuff, and probably might find some more Mersats.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's which is interesting, I guess, on the whole thing. So I
But
wonder if it's gonna
on
be a
the
more white mantle like raid. Go ahead.
right. On the raid thing, from what I'm understanding, from what I've seen, because I don't raid and I want to, it's gonna be more of an open world raid.
Oh,
that's right. That was something really cool
that's a
that they're.
different. Yeah, that's a whole separate
It's
part of
gonna
that
be
raid.
two
But they
different
are.
raids, like a
Yeah,
raid and then an open world
yeah,
raid.
Which I think is such a good move on their part that they are opening this up to, yeah, you can bring a 10-man squad in
yeah. Because it
and do
says
it like a typical
10
raid.
player raid instance, an R8 raid, and a large group open world event one as well.
And I think that's going to be so great.
And it looks like
'Cause-
convenience system will also be extended to the regions of Janthir, including Janthir-specific enemies, following major release. So does that mean? I wonder if rifting is still going to be a thing in general over there too.
That'd be kind of
Probably,
interesting.
New mobs
because
are
that's
going
the
to
way
be.
you have to get your armor, or you'll have to do it from what Soto backwards.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Now my thing is, it's going to be accompanied with like a new channel. Like I wonder how high, like if the older raids are going to get higher in the like. Do you think it's gonna be super hard, Zoa, or do you think they're just gonna like up the health of the boss?
Well, they've kind of been going back and forth on that lately. Like we had Cosmic Observatory released with Temple of Phoebe, and Cosmic Observatory is not exactly the most complicated strike. Definitely a little more than, the first three that were released with Icebreed Saga, but it's one that's like a relatively accessible rate. It's just that she's kind of a health sponge. They unfortunately have had the health sponge trend happening on like every single fucking boss they've been releasing.
So it's not more
then
like just new mechanics added, it's just more health in general, so that's what's happening, or?
They've been doing that a lot, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we see it with the newest fractal before that. So like Silent Surf, Dagda, Lonely Tower. Just their health bars are just massive. And like the only one, like Phoebe was the only one that actually like kind of had that balanced. And then
I'm wondering
yeah, like
if
that's what it,
if their confusion on like what hard means to you guys, like to the raiders, like
yeah.
maybe they need the feedback needs to be more of like more like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
action and mechanics and not just more health, because yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Because that's what makes it kind of more interesting is yeah, when you've got more things that you kind of got to work around, you plan specific builds for it, or you find out ways to have role compression work. So like one person's just responsible for an entire set of mechanics or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we'll see. I mean, I think some of why they've also been making health sponges is because of the power creep that's been happening. And they're like, I guess we'll just like throw it in like this and see what happens, and we can back it off if we need to. But
Yeah,
I
which
don't
makes
know.
me
So I'm
curious
a
how the open world like raid like bosses are gonna
Mhm.
work then. If it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
gonna
interested
be
to
like
see
robot style.
what they're gonna do for having it be open world versus like 10 people because like obviously there's mechanics that are a lot easier to handle if you have like 50 people in an instance than just 10.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. That last one, it's kind of, where we gotta fight the boss and it kills you with those freaking conditions and crap. It doesn't matter how many people you got.
Boss.
You're not
Oh,
doing the right thing. The last one in Soto.
Epark.
Epoch.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. That was kind of funny because I did the open world boss on that and I was like, "Oh my God, this is like it was like the day it was released and we did not kill
Yeah.
him."
No,
Yeah,
nothing telling you don't stand in those things or what those things are. You couldn't really see it because there's just so much
they
stuff
were
on the
all over
ground.
the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of in Lonely Tower Fractal, I honestly had like the same experience where I was like, there is stuff just constantly all over the ground. How am I
Oh, I
supposed
haven't
to
got to do
avoid
that
all of
yet.
this?
So
Some
what's
road
it look
bosses
like?
are
I
And
such
haven't got to do
sponges
it
and
yet.
some melt so quick. Yeah, that's
it's a
weird.
lot like the
Is it with stuff
like the fight is a
everywhere?
lot like the fight with that park, yeah, where it's just,
Yeah.
he shoots out a bunch of orbs, there's shit all over the ground. You have to pick up the orbs. Like if you
Okay.
don't, you're just gonna have a bad time. Um, they did at least nerf his health some,
Weird.
which is
So do you
definitely
have to
good.
pick up certain orbs? Like they were saying, if you didn't pick up in the meta, you had to pick up that one. If you didn't pick it up, it's like you couldn't get rid of it. Nobody knew you could go run to the other thing and clean it
The
and then get the
fountain,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no fountain in the fractal, so you pick it up and then you've got those. And honestly, from what I've heard so far, I mean, there's other people I know who have like cleared it more. I mean, there's several strats that were being used that then ArenaNet was like, oh wait, we don't want you to use that strat, so let's patch that out so you can't use it anymore. And I was like, okay. So like, as far as I'm aware, you just have to collect all of the orbs
Okay.
all of the time, and
Okay.
it just sucks because you're like running around all over the place. Especially as I don't know, as the healer, I try to like because usually I'm on my chrono. I can just bring blink, and go grab some orbs and range heal people with rifle as I'm on my way back. But it's a little chaos because yeah, it can be hard for people to just like stack in one spot with all of the AoEs on the ground.
It's
Well,
like
maybe
War
it'll make
Claw
a
is
difference.
becoming mainstream outside of World v. World, so I wonder if they're gonna
Hmm.
pick up the speed.
Yes.
I'm
I hope
excited for
so.
that. so that people can
Yeah, it's
have
a
their
little slow.
kitty mounts out there. I will talk about the World v. World thing real quick while we're at it. Obviously they are doing the testing right now with the whole World v. World alliances and stuff like that, and a lot of people are kind of upset because a lot of the servers
I'm
that they're connected
confused.
to are basically pretty like not World v. Worldish. Like there's not a lot going on, so they're being dominated really hard, or their camps are being camped over badly because like the way the teams are teamed up. So a lot of people don't like that it's 60 days. Like they want to lower it a little bit, and then on top of that, just like the balancing of it all. So I kind of think that I wish they would have done the testing for 30 days instead of 60 or whatever it is, like the bigger number or whatever to reset your teams. But yeah, so far it seems pretty cool. I like the idea of how you can like represent and connect with whoever you want to hang out in World v. World with, but I am curious on how they're gonna make sure it doesn't get too dominated because people do move around.
Yeah, well, you found out when you were looking to, because we were trying to get it on the same. That way we can go and do stuff together. And because she's on a different world than I am, and we were trying to figure out, and I didn't get to her in time, but she found me in my world. There's a
Just through
thing.
the World v. World thing. I just
Yeah, it
done
shows the list of your friends or whatever, and
yeah.
I didn't know that, so that's cool.
Yeah, if you haven't played World v. World in a long time, you have to open your World v. World thing, and then you'll just click on who you want to basically join on. Like, you can join on one of your friends, whatever, and it'll tell you, like, what team they're on. And then from there, once you accept it, you cannot change it for whatever the time period it has set right now. I think it's like 60 days or something like that. And then you can still represent as the guild, too. Like, you have the guild thing as well. You just right-click on the guild and hit represent, World v. World, whatever. But yeah, so World v. World's kind of interesting. It doesn't seem like people are very happy though. So
I can understand how, like, it seems like it'd be difficult, yeah, when it's doing it like by guild, for example, because you often have guilds that are like really into World v. World.
yeah, it's stacked as heck.
You've got
on
people
that.
who are going to be doing that and end up probably having more World v. World guilds stacked together on a server, and then like PvE guilds stacked together on a server, where then like no one's really doing World v. World, just because by nature of the people that like people get connected with and who are their friends and stuff.
Yeah.
It said it reminded her when it first started, like when people used to all hop on one server.
Because people, if you're in the World v. World like I was, people they want to find fights, so they'll do exactly what you said earlier, so where they'll stack up in a guild and all transfer over to a certain server, and then go from and then they'll have like groups of other guilds and they'll alliance up in a sense, before alliance was a thing, and just basically connect, and that's where it sucks because it's like you have players who actually World v. World, and you have the players who are coming in and checking out World v. World, or maybe now checking it because now they can play with their friends and don't realize like the culture that is running in there in its own world, its own little bubble in a sense, kind of like raiders, where it's like, yeah, some people use the LFG, but some raiders obviously use Discord, like groups and communities outside of the LFG, because it's easier to find or regulate and get into groups that people listen in a sense than a bunch of strangers.
Well, I did notice when I went this weekend, I did World versus World, and there was no commanders, but there were mobs of groups. So if you found a mob or a few people more than yourself, if you're not a roamer, but nobody was wearing tags, taking stuff. So it's gonna be interesting.
It will be interesting. I know they're coming out with a PvP mode too, a new mode, which
Oh,
Huh?
yeah.
What?
yep,
I'm kind of excited about that because
yep,
PvP needs some love.
yes it does.
Oh,
Uh,
PvP. Yeah.
yeah. And I often, with PvP, like, I haven't really regularly done a lot of PvP lately, but one person I would do like duo queue with, like the 2v2s. 2v2s and 3v3s, like, I wish that they always had those going along with the other ones at the same time. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they end up doing for their additional mode and what it's going to be. If it's going to be like a payload sort of situation, or
Yeah, I don't. I kind of like those modes. I kind of want to like in Guild Wars 1 where we had like the capture point things with the Lux and Kurzik. I know obviously we won't have the Lux and Kurzik, but just like the
Like,
general mode
yeah,
of like that style, I guess, is what it
yeah.
would like is that's kind of fun for a PvP mode too.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see. At least they're giving some PvP attention
Now, what
too
was the
because they
last
haven't been
update
touched
for
for a while.
PvP?
I don't know. I
Was
just know they just
the
do tourneys, and then last time it was like Heart of Thorns when I think tourneys
I
came
mean the
in.
new map for PvP? Wasn't it the one where you can get that people don't like? Oh, I can't even think of it.
Stronghold?
Yeah,
The
I think it's
Stronghold maps?
Stronghold. Yeah,
I actually like the Stronghold
It's pretty
maps.
fun.
I liked
I
it,
think they're
but I
neat.
guess a lot of people didn't like it or something.
I think it's like a little difficult if you don't have at least like I think a lot of people don't understand how the mode works.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
then like people are like get frustrated with like trying to because that's one where like
You got to
yeah
build up the guards. You got to build up
yeah
the door breakers and all that other stuff. And
kind of have to have a strat there, yeah.
mhm.
Whereas in the ones with capture points you can kind of just hop in and be like I think I'm supposed to capture those and go over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one thing. Is sometimes I don't feel like when people get into a new PvP map, if it has like an objective, I don't think some people understand that it's not just fighting. You have
Yeah,
to actually go do the objectives
yeah.
so that you can actually win. Like, yeah, you get points for killing, but you also get more points if you do the objective.
Hmm.
It's still
And
like
that
that
one's
just with the
particularly
normal
like
capture PvP maps where like you have to stand in a circle. Sometimes I'll have people just fighting off to the side and they're like, how are we losing? And you just see the enemy team with all 3 capture points and you're like, I don't know, maybe you need to do the objective too.
yeah.
Like um let's talk about the homestead. I'm
I'm
gonna
so
put the video up while we talk
excited.
about it. It's gonna be muted, so we won't be hearing it. But it's just to show like what's going on with it. Over the last weekend, the PC is it PC magazine or PC Gamer?
PC Gamer, I think.
Yeah. Basically, they had shown off the housing and all what we can do with it because a lot of people were concerned and questioning if it was going to be like the way the Sunspear Sanctum homestead was or like personal homestead or whatever. But pretty much it's like the guild hall plus some in a sense on like what you can do. So, are you excited?
Probably one of the number one things I'm excited for is they show a preview eventually of the like how you place things. So you can actually like rotate them around and stuff
Yeah, I
and shift
love
them
the axle. You
around.
can shrink them, make them
Oh my
large.
God, yeah, shrink and expand.
Which
That
I
is
wonder if they're gonna
amazing.
allow that in the guild hall too. After, like, if
Yes,
they
they
put the
said
Oh
they
same.
did.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
cool,
Yes,
cool.
Which
That's
they
I'm
good.
said it will
so
be
stoked
carrying over.
for. I cannot
Yeah,
tell you how much of a bane to mine and Amina's existence the guild decoration limitations are. Like it is
Yeah, I
so
think I read
painful.
something. It's gonna be 1,000 items that you can place to decorate for right now is the limit. You can make up to 8,000 different things for crafting.
Wow,
They're crafting things,
8,000.
so that's not bad. Um, it's a different crafting, so you don't have you're not going to be using the
Yeah, stop
scribes, so it's going to
driving.
be a whole different mastery thing.
mm-hmm.
I'm really
And
hoping that they're not going to do the same thing that they did with scribing, where there's like infinite nested recipes, because those are another thing that's really painful about scribing, is being like, oh, I want to make this hedge. Oh, okay, I have to make this thing first. Wait, I have to make that thing first.
That's
Okay,
good to
now I gotta
know
make this
because
other thing.
Serene is gonna be leveling up her scribe soon at some point. So that's good.
Yeah.
You're
oh,
gonna.
I was no way. I
I
stayed away from that.
I will say I like the little place that we can put our little
Yeah.
mounts, but I would love it
The
as
pet
a
mound.
ranger to be able to have a station for my little ranger
Yep.
pets.
I
Ranger
would love
pets
that
or your
too.
mini. We brought up on the forums, so like a novelty where you can have your novelties in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the we are going to be able to have our cats from our home instance
What
over
about
there.
our
Oh, of
dogs?
course.
Yeah, well, our stuff that's in our home instance, they
Yeah,
said
like a
remove
turtle
pets and
and
all that and the cats and
Again,
stuff.
there's a very
yeah.
big
I know we
unbalanced
want
animals in
dogs.
this
Yes,
dang
I agree
game.
with you. I want
It's
cat.
all
I want
about cats.
dogs. I'm tired
I
about
need
cats.
dogs.
That's
Where's
fair.
my
That's
dog
fair.
chair?
Hey,
Can
at
I
least
pet
they
that
gave us
dog?
dog day. At least they gave us a dog day. Remember that where we can turn into
Oh
dogs?
Yeah, but you
yeah.
guys got a cool cat chair in the wizard thing last month. I want a
That's
dog
true.
chair.
And a kitty
Yeah.
bed. Remember, we got a kitty bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, that's my point. Why so many cat things? Where are the dogs? Where's a dog chair?
Yeah, I like it too with the alts. Now I feel sorry for Reaper when he goes into his home instance. My friend Reaper's got ain't 30 something
Yeah, the people
alts.
that have like a lot of alts and have a fun
He's
time
gonna
doing
have a
all that
little
stuff.
town on his homestead.
Yeah. Well, there's a limitation to how many it'll show.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's good.
Yeah, and I forget what they said it was. I feel like it's not any more than 20.
Probably because it would probably boggle down the servers if they have all these people
Yeah,
doing all this
Yeah.
stuff.
it's showing you the stuff.
Which makes me
that he's-
curious on how the servers are going to handle
It's
everyone
30. Okay.
like putting their stuff on, like how much the servers are going to take a hit or not with everyone having a home now. I mean, like
Did
yeah,
you
it's
Yeah.
private, but you're still hosting it on something. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
you
Like
see
on the
him working
server.
on the bench, the stuff that he's got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would
that's cool.
advise you guys for your homestead to get prepared to go and
A lot of
farm
materials.
meadows and harvest all your ore and your wood and cloth and get it stocked up. That way you're.
I just like that you
you-
can size it and change the
Mhm.
I love the
direction.
no
That's really
clip
good.
too.
Yeah,
Like
that's really
Kyoku
good.
was mentioning. God, so nice. Yeah, look at that. You can like resize. It's gonna be amazing. Oh my god! And then you can do that, and you could hide because a lot of the plants are all in pots, so you can just like hide the pot below.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
And they
I-
say whatever you buy in the gym store as for your homestead, you'll automatically get where you can make doubles
good.
of it. Yeah,
That's good.
so
I was gonna say, with this
see, there's the
homestead
guild
too.
hall.
That's currently how it works, and
I
it's
know
pain.
some people, I guess, are still a little upset because it's privatized and not public. But I'm just like, I don't think the servers can
Mm.
handle the load with public, a bunch of homes being on the
Well, that
No, but you
also
can
open
take
front.
friends in.
Yeah, no, but that's what they don't they want. It's because there's some people that just want to show off their,
Oh, they want
like
like
just
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
strangers to be able to go into
Yeah.
their homes and see what
And that's
they
because some
do.
games have that feature, like my Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Like you can just go to the district and then walk
Mhm.
up to anyone's home. Some games are like that. Even EverQuest is like that. But like we just said earlier, this game, as much as we love it, it's also still partly on an old engine. I don't think it could handle it.
I'm hoping it can
Honestly,
handle this. 1,000. Can you
That's what.
imagine
Yeah,
if
I'm curious on
everybody
how
has
it's
a
going to handle the
homestead,
load.
1,000 items plus the guild halls? I'm just hoping it's not overtaxing the servers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue, but one of the things that is a bonus to not having them be public and all next to each other is that introduces scarcity where only so many people, like
Yeah.
have to
Exactly.
like are able to have a
Yes.
plot. And so
Yep.
this way it's just like you can keep your plot and like you can like not log into the
That
game
was
for
my
5 years
thought
and you come
too.
back and you'll still have it. You won't get
Yep.
booted out of
Yeah,
it.
you won't get
You know what it
booted out.
reminds me of? You said you played Guild Wars, right, Zoa?
I played a little bit of Guild Wars
Okay,
1.
you did have the Hall of Monuments, right? It reminds
No,
me
I
of
never got that far.
okay, so Hall of Monuments, it's this place where it's got all your stuff. It's in the Eye of the North, supposedly, but so you can have up there, what is it, 3 of your armor sets, 3 or 4 of the weapons that you want to show off.
Yeah, but you couldn't really
Your
move it
minis,
around.
but you couldn't
Decorate.
move it around.
You
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm
placed
saying.
it.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like that, but better. But you can move around and decorate. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
You like the armor thing where you can just
Mhm.
set up your armor here.
Oh, I love that. I love that you can do a pose. You know I'm gonna have a pose
Oh yeah.
of Larif in all of her outfits,
Yeah,
Yep.
this looks really
being
good.
a
And I
big
like the
Norn
weapon
mommy.
thing right there. That looks good.
Oh yeah, I love you can display the weapons too. Like there's
Yeah.
just so many features about the homestead that they added in that like are so cool that I'm really excited about that I wasn't expecting.
How many
Mhm.
players at most can go into the place? Did they say? Is it
Nope,
just
they
like
haven't
5?
said that yet. They
I'm
haven't said
imagining
yet.
just a party,
Because it would be cool if you can have at least maybe
like a
like
squad.
a squad side. Yeah, I was gonna say raid or
Yeah.
squad, but squad sides. Because if you have people that are into role playing or whatever, it'd be a fun little thing that they can have like a
Yeah.
little role playing group
Having a
or
party at my
meeting or
house. Come on
parties or
over.
whatever. Yeah, this
Yeah,
definitely keeps it
guild
private.
meeting at my house.
Are we able to dye the house? Did they
I'm
say?
hoping that'd be cool.
I don't know. I didn't see it on.
Yeah,
here.
that is one thing that I would say is the only thing that's really like I guess missing at the moment is that there's not a lot of option for oh, I want to have this type of home and this type of landscape kind of thing. And I'm hoping that that's
Yeah.
something that is
That'll come
like
in the
coming
future,
in the
probably.
future. Yeah, like this is currently, from this expansion, we have these home options, but maybe the one that they do next year, then we'll have more homes that we can choose from kind of thing.
It looks
Yeah, well,
so
these
good.
somebody built from if you watch this video, those little houses that they just showed there, they're not houses. Somebody built it with using flat,
Oh
the
yeah, that
tiles.
was oh, plus you can turn into a bee. No, it's a little earlier than that.
Yeah, it's a little. It's
There.
no, it's
Before that.
Is it this one?
There's some, yeah.
no, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those.
those aren't actually houses. Somebody built those out of. They put stuff together and made houses.
Yeah, those are a lot of those are the racetrack pieces for
Yeah.
Roller Beetle. I'm excited to be able to interact with my alts too. That they'll be hanging out in
See how
there.
creative people can get. That's gonna be cool.
So we
Mm-hmm.
got garden. I do wish that we could had placed those things where we want the garden, but it's fine.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Like,
it
Yeah, I
not.
just hope all my nodes aren't spread out. I hope we get the place where we want them.
It'll automatically be placed because it looks like the garden stuff
Yeah.
is already placed. But
Yeah,
I
let's
agree. I
automatically
do hope
place.
they're not spread out. I do hope that maybe they're just like in a certain area. They might be by
Well,
like
what's
the
great is they
mining.
have the boxes for collecting the materials now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And that's gonna, oh my god, that's gonna be amazing. Plus, it still uses your glyph,
Yep.
so that's gonna be really dope. Oh, what else was there with? I feel like there was another thought I had that I
Cute
forgot.
little animals.
Yeah.
We get to have all our mounts. I like the guy who was joking.
Yeah.
We get to finally see your special jackal mount that you never get to use.
Yeah. And I like, yeah, your skiff is over there too. That's cute.
Now, does your animal stay over or is it just like
I think
a
they just
temp,
stay in there.
like a temp image? Like if I leave and I go need to use my jackal, it's gonna be on me,
Does
right?
a tree fall in a forest, or do you hear a tree fall in the forest if you're not there? It'll probably stay.
Well, apparently so I mean it's cool you can use your mount in the home instance. So as soon as you mount up, yeah, they like disappear from the paddock, but then once you like dismount, they reappear there.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm excited for it. I would say housing is
It
number
looks like
3
they're all
for
over
the
the
reason
place.
why I'd be playing. To me, I'm not like, I'm stoked, but not stoked because I would like to personalize it a little better, but that's just me. Only because, like, if I was look, if you lived in the mountains as a Norn, it would be nice. Like, I hope that if they
The
did
more
housing,
houses.
like just different zones, maybe they
Mhm.
have a char zone or whatever. But for now, this is a good start. Can't complain.
Yes.
Can't.
It looks
bicker,
pretty
like,
big though, because
yeah.
you got a mine
It
shaft
does look
in
large.
there.
Yeah.
It looks like a big area that's just your home instance, and that's pretty damn cool.
Yes.
I
Mhm.
just don't want it to be like, what's that cave in is it Path of Fire?
That's what I was gonna say. Sunspear. The Sunspear.
Oh yeah.
Sunspear. I don't want it to be like that.
Sunspear Refuge.
Yeah, I think I've only used it twice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to do in there. Like you make it, and then you're like, okay, why would I come back here?
Yeah, especially if you're done with that content. So.
Exactly. But this is, it's gonna have all your home stuff in there. I'm kind of curious if there's the portal stone for teleporting to home. I would like if we had the option, the home portal stone. It says it takes you to the home in your racial city, but it would be nice if it could take you to like your homestead.
I bet you they'll sell one on the
maybe.
TP.
Well, yeah, another teleportation scroll. That's totally separate.
Yeah.
use all my shared inventory slots for
At this
teleportation
point, I
scrolls.
was gonna say
They need to make us a freaking keychain. I'm telling you, and put
condense
all
those
this stuff
scrolls
in.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like they have the books for like the season
They're just
tomes.
like,
I
here's
want
a
them to have
scroll
one
for the
for.
winter stays. Here's a scroll for the
Yeah.
lunar year. There's a scroll
Well, at
for
least
this.
those ones eventually turn into just the
Here's
welcome
a
to the
scroll for
party.
season
Yep.
4. Here's a scroll for season 5.
Wizard Tower portal scroll. Freaking.
Yeah,
I wish, yeah, I wish they would take and like they would allow you to like buy a booklet or whatever for
yeah.
Right.
for
Well,
the
like
like
the
hub scrolls. Like you could have a hub scroll book, and that's where you
yeah.
put your wizards and Arborstone and Mistlock
Yeah,
and
and
Thousand
Eye
Thieves.
what's the Eye of the North tome that's got all the ones in it, something like
Well,
that, and
Iceberg
then
Saga, that's already its own
yeah,
tome. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, put it into one, and then you can like you get like tabs. You know, I want to go to this
mm,
area or this area, and then it pops up and shows you all the other keys you have in that area or
yeah,
tomes or whatever. I'd be so much because that would take away or give me more spaces to use in my bag because I got all these damn scrolls.
yeah, takes up an entire line.
Okay, so we went through the homestead. Now let's talk about those spears.
Spears. So many of the
So
animations looked really cool.
in chat, if you watched and tested out, you're more than welcome to speak what you liked and not like. But we're just gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about the damage or not because
You need to
this
tell
is
them what you
testing.
told us
But we're
because I didn't
basically,
know it.
huh?
Tell them what you told us because we didn't know that either. About how you got to have two
I
of them.
Oh,
yeah. Hang on. Now you threw me off, woman.
I'm sorry. That's your mother's job.
Basically, we're gonna be talking about like what the devs previewed, and then right now this weekend, if you're testing out the spear testing, we're gonna be talking about that. So unfortunately, has not tested it yet, but she'll at least say what her top faves and what average looking ones for, and then same with mom and me. So I'll tell about the spear thing after, but for now, what are your 3 favorite class looking spears? Like the effects, the
I'm
style.
really excited for Ranger. I love that mongoose attack one that's there. The big
It's a
leaps.
mongoose. We thought it was I think it was a
There's a
cow.
wolf one, I
Oh,
Oh,
think,
there's
as
different
well.
ones. We only
Okay,
saw
I think it
one.
was the fox or
I
wolf or
think there's
something.
2. Yeah, I think there's a total of 2. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I always love ranger weapons that have, this sort of animal manifestation, like Great Sword 3 with the big like swoopy eagle sort of thing. Um, on Soul Beast, all of the stances, like where the big animal appears when you use the stance. I love that. So I really love that about the spear. Um, all of the spears looked like really interesting as far as like their ability to be at range and also melee, which is really nice. I've
Guardians,
heard,
all its abilities are like heals,
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
that's
much.
gonna
really
be
good.
cool to have another healing weapon. And then also gonna
Well,
be good for, I don't know if they're actually, no, these are just land spears. That's right. 'Cause the underwater spears kind of need a revamp too. But
they need to fix a lot of the underwater spare skills for a lot of
yeah,
classes.
I know you said you weren't
Um,
going to talk about the DPS of the spears, but I just want to mention really quick that
Hmm?
thief spear, which this
Well, I
is
mean,
just so
we
funny
could
to me
talk
because this
about it. Yeah, it's just I just want to put a warning out there. Don't.
it could
It
change.
could change.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
and yeah. So
no.
go ahead.
So the
Yeah.
thief spear, it's funny because I feel like this happens every time thief gets a new weapon. The damage is insane. It is hitting like over 50k on
Oh
core
my
thief
god.
with spear.
I think that's
It
the only one we
is
didn't test
nuts.
when we were playing with all of them.
Yeah, we
That and
didn't.
engineer.
Yeah, so there's definitely, a little bit of balance that needs to happen in there, and I
Hopefully.
just think it's so funny because the same thing happened um with axe for thief, main hand axe.
That's
For some reason get a lot
broken.
of builds where it blows it out of the water.
Um, Serene, what were your favorites and which ones were alright, I guess, to you?
Ellie was my favorite. Next is Mesmer and Necro after that. The worst ones to me were Warrior, Rev, and I didn't try
Now she's going off
anything
of
else.
effects, by the way. She's not going
Yeah,
off.
no, I'm
Yeah, she
not
wasn't
just
paying.
effects. I'm
Yeah,
going off skills too.
yeah.
How fast it goes, what it does. The Guardian, I love it. Like she said about the hills. Also with Guardian, you got 3 new, I think, because I've never seen them before. Skills on the right side, your special skills, whatever they call them, elite skills.
I was
You
trying to
got
tell
3
you
new
that, woman. It's monk. That's
monk. Yeah.
yeah. That's not new.
Oh, that's not new. I
I
never had
keep
them
trying to
before.
tell you that that's the
'Cause I
newest
do
profession because she don't play
Dragon
that
Hunter,
profession.
so
She does dragon hunter.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was
yeah.
like,
That was the firebrand. Are you talking about the mantras?
No, it's like
no,
a
it's monk. It's the where like the kick pose and all this other stuff. Because when you make the guardian one, or like the spear, like the beta, it
Yeah.
sets you up as the monk spec.
Oh,
So
Willbender.
yeah, Willbender. Sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's pretty
I was like, what are
cool
you
with the
talking about?
spear, using those skills with the spear. It was pretty cool.
Never seen
Mhm.
him because she's
Um,
like dragon hunter half the time, so that's fine.
yeah. And then the L the LA the 5th skill, a lot of people like didn't get that far, but I noticed with the 5th skill, if they keep it, I think it's gonna be a killer damage because
Mm.
you can do 2 skills, like click it once and another one comes up, you click it. But if it's timed right, a 3rd one pops up. And it does like a blast thing. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I think the LE is pretty cool effect wise. It's top tier. A lot of people are kind of upset because it feels like it got the most attention to details on like looks wise and design. And then Mesmer is alright. Ranger's super cute with the little thing. And then my next would be just like Necro a little bit, but the rest are kind of at like even the Revenant felt underwhelming. All you do is drop blood bubbles basically,
Hmm.
and that's it. And you're just like, okay.
And if the baddie goes
I mean,
through
I'm
it,
sure the skills itself are amazing, but like the effects, like the design,
The visuals.
yeah, visual, me. But I do know that the elemental one is going to be rough because a lot of people were upset and saying that that's going to kill a lot of people's FPS frames. And this is where we were like talking about a few times, even with you when we were last on. They need to make the options where you can turn off so much effects on your screen without turning your game ugly. Like either set it to squad only to see the squad only effects or your party effects only. Because if you're gonna have everyone throwing down those
and
LEs, the
World
mess, like
versus
all that
World,
stuff, those
oh, it's
spheres are
gonna be
gonna
a
blow.
nightmare.
So, and then for earlier, Shaman, a lot of people know him. He sometimes data mines or whatever. This is not too much of a spoiler, but basically, he just stated that, which is pretty obvious because it would make sense. You can't use the spear for both things. You would have to have 2 separate spears, one for your weapon and one for your water. So, to
Yeah.
basically use.
So you might need to make 2 legendary spears.
Mm-hmm.
I told her I'm
It,
not doing it. I'll make one, and then the other one will be an ascended one. Because you don't go use underwater that much anyway. So I'll
yeah.
just keep my underwater spears and ascended. And if I do a class that uses the spear, I'll use the legendary spear on that one.
Yeah. Yep. So,
Man,
uh,
I don't even
but
have ascended spears. I'm
you
working with
same.
like fine masterwork underwater gear.
I don't have any. I just have the like I think an
Oh,
exotic
there
or
is
something.
you do know you can get an underwater um uh, air breather ascended
Yep.
now. That was added this last patch.
I thought there was
There's been
ascended
some,
underwater breathers
yeah,
for a long
yeah. It's
time.
been with
Right,
us
but it's
since Dakota.
easier to get and you can get the speed on it. It's got
Yeah, it was a recent patch. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, it's added some stuff to it. You can get 10 speed buff for those bubbles for
Mm-hmm.
speed on it. You can, and it also has a slot to where you can add your agony and all that other stuff into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, no. I think that the spears are gonna be very exciting, but I also wonder like how many people are actually gonna use them through the expansion, and like how important are they gonna be over normal builds and weapon sets for like raiding, for example. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see on
Didn't
that.
know.
And then let me see. I'm trying to check through my notes here to make sure I cover everything. We have the braids. We talked about the war claw. And then we talked
We just
about
touched on the war cloth.
Yeah, like
Somebody
very
asked.
briefly.
well, we can't really
Somebody
talk
says,
about
"What
much
skills? What can the war claw do in PVE?"
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do there because like the War
yeah.
Claw is specifically like it's balanced so that it's not OP in World v World, which means that it is less effective in PvE compared to like the PvE mounts. So I'm interested to see what they're thinking we're gonna be using those for.
Unless they separate the two, like they do for like when you load up in World v World, your build's different, or
Yeah.
whatever. Unless they separate
Yeah.
the two, and then it still stays, so then it's not.
I mean, I suppose at the
overpowered.
very least, it's nice for people who like if they do mainly do World v World, and then they're like, oh, I want to go to PvE, and then they like don't have them out.
Have them
That like
out,
works
right.
well.
Maybe they'll have
Well,
some buildings we gotta destroy or something, or carry stuff.
yeah, something like that.
Because doesn't the war claw skill is gate destruction, right?
That's one of them.
Yeah, one's gate, and I think the other one is something else. I'd have to pull it out. But it doesn't say. Yeah, right now I don't even think they previewed it yet. So far it's just been skills provided to refresh experience that builds on what we've learned about mounts since they first were implemented. So, like Zoa said, I guess it would be interesting at the same time on like what they're gonna fully do.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do to make that seem.
I guess over time, I'm
Worth.
wondering if most of these mounts are gonna get an overhaul and added more buttons to them or something
Yeah.
to keep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of space in there for more stuff.
Mm.
Skill bar.
And it's a mount that at least everyone can obtain pretty easily or get pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's another thing. If you haven't gotten it, now's a good time because it's pretty quick. You just go run around and roll and
Do the mastery for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Get it out of the way. It's not locked behind like a bunch of collection parts like the.
Now, do you think they'll
Skyscale.
make another mastery for you to get the war claw over in PvE?
Maybe.
I don't think they would. Maybe just to get the whatever ability, but not to unlock because you can already ride it around now. That'd be weird to take it away from you. I guess. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Right.
And then the only other thing is we're going into the wilds. Obviously, we are going to be dealing with the white mantle again, and the Masat, like we spoke of. Do you think we're going to be dealing with like maybe someone that is running the white mantle group on this side? Like, is there another maybe leader, or do you think the Masat is mantling around with the white mantle? Like, what do you feel is happening here, or going to happen?
Well, I mean, I feel like we wrapped up a lot of White Mantle stuff before. So yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do.
I'm like, what else can you do with the white mantle at this point? We kind of kicked their face in a couple times
Yeah.
already. Like, what else?
Like the Saul story is wrapped up too. That got wrapped up in Wing 4.
Zira. He's dead, right? Because I didn't
Yeah.
get to do okay, so he's dead. Okay.
Actually, did he? What the fuck happened at the end of that raid? I should know that. Where does he go? Usually he's just standing around.
You said Saul?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what actually happens to him at the end of Wing 4. I mean, you kind of like spawn back and like you defeat Deimos, and then I don't remember seeing where Saul is after that.
Well, maybe he's not dead. Maybe we have to go kick his butt.
Because I mean, the whole thing is like if he dies during the encounter, you lose the encounter. So like he should be alive at the end.
Okay, well then that's probably what we're gonna have to deal with is his butt. Yeah.
Maybe he goes.
Yeah, maybe he'll be in the next raid wing.
Getting his powers back. Maybe they're draining people of their magic again over there.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna go on a vendetta against making sure there's no Mersat left or something like that.
Yeah, maybe it's like we have to pick or help out one of the sides. Maybe we have to help out with the Masat versus.
Oh right, does he just flop down and die? He's like, okay, I did it. Deimos is dead now. I can just goodbye.
I'm looking on the wiki to see if he's like even alive or not. It doesn't say.
I mean, it is kind of interesting. So if you look on the map, Bastion of the Penitent, which is Wing 4, like that, yeah, that's like right near like Janthir Bay.
Maybe escaped and went into Janthir Bay.
Well, it says once the demon had been defeated, the Eye of Janthir had treated the eye power no longer sustained Saul, who then
Oh,
died,
okay.
feeling sorry for what Saul had been through and how he had earned a worse reputation than he deserved. The raiders choose not to inform the Crichton government about Saul's existence in order, which makes sense because we have
Yeah.
a niece coming through and talking about with Livia, but to avoid causing political uproar, instead they opt to have Saul's remains interred on Krita soil without fanfare so that the founders of the White Mantle could finally rest in peace.
Okay.
And then it just said later, after that, the crystalline heart was buried under the tree inside the bastion of Saul's ghost, or under the bastion, or inside bastion. And it just says Saul's ghost appears and gave the adventurer his final thanks. So he is dead. So maybe the news spreads over to them, and
Yeah,
maybe
it's
somebody.
possible. It said that the Eye of Janthir just kind of like poofed away. It was
Yeah.
like goodbye. Okay, well we might run into the Eye of Janthir again then.
Well, we already did.
I forgot to
It
move.
came into the
Sorry.
into that last meta.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
on
it
the
did?
top of the throne in the
Yeah.
corner room. Yeah, I was looking down at, like, when you're fighting on the last boss in the story, it's hovering in the right corner, and then once you kill the boss
What?
and walk up on the throne, you can see it, and then it'll poof.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I think I can pull it up.
I mean, there's a lot of red and stuff going on in that final
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, we
I didn't
definitely
see
are
it
gonna
either.
have. There's no way they would have the Eye of Janthir hanging out, hidden in the end of that instance, and not be doing something with it.
Just
Yep.
says the Eye of Janthir is watching our fight against Ekpak. It's floating above the right of Ekpak's throne, and then it vanishes when you get closer. So.
Yeah, the eye is watching
And then
us.
someone said there was a hint in the last instance too that was a note to Livia summoning her to Divinity's reach. In the dialogue is where she tells you that our paths might meet again sooner than we think, and that kind of gives the vibe of basically that we're dealing with like the Isle, like the Eye again, and the White Mantle, and all that jazz. So yeah. I didn't realize it either because at the
Interesting.
time my video card died during when we were
Yeah,
streaming it, and
she was
then
really
I was
crappy, and then
watching
Oh,
Mal, and she was nice enough to show me, and then I was like, oh cool, and then I went and did it again. But yeah, it's in the top right hand corner. It's just lingering around for a bit, and then it poofs when you walk up to it. So, which was interesting to me because I was explaining to mom here. I was like, I thought the eye like also got taken care of by, like, I thought Livia took it and like locked it away, like after that story
that's
where
what I
we
thought too.
like
Mhm.
dealt
I
with
don't.
the one person.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how does it keep poofing everywhere? Like, is there more than one? Like, or is it just like, yeah? So I don't know.
Is it the eye of the gods?
I have no clue, but it seems like it was sitting in not Demos, because I'm looking at Demos' name right now, but in Epoch's room for some reason. I don't know why it wanted to watch us fight, I guess, but someone's watching us.
Yeah.
Someone's
It's
being
interesting. I mean,
nosy.
it looks like it tried to find Mabon.
That's why I'm
I'm looking
wondering
at
if,
the wiki.
yeah,
It
maybe.
says the Eye of Janthir and Secrets of the Scourge. The Eye of Janthir had come close to finding out that another Mersat, Mabon, still existed on Tyria within the safety of Omnitas. However, Mabon managed to stay hidden. So the eye evaporated from the Tyrian plane of reality after Lazarus's demise. Mabon speculated if the eye might find other Mersat who could potentially exist somewhere in the mists. And then the next note in the wiki is that we see it in Inner Nyos when we're fighting Eparch.
Yep.
So it disappeared and then it came back somehow.
So is it
Like,
trying to
why is it?
find Mabon, or is it technology that is for the Masath to use, or is it technology that the White Mantle use?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
whose
But we're definitely gonna have
toy
something
is
going
it?
on with it. I'm
And
excited about that.
I thought it was the Massats used it.
Who?
The Massat. I think they used the Aya Janthir, and
Yeah.
then the White Mantle ended up using it.
But my thing is like, what is it like a camera or is it like a god in like is there someone in there? Like that's what I'm asking. Like,
That's what
what
I'm thinking.
is the important features of it?
I think it's a tool of the gods. That's what I'm thinking, and to keep eyes on us
Mm,
since they're not here, no more.
sorry, let me turn this
Left us on our own.
because that's the part that I'm like, Uh, if there's any thoughts that people have in the channel too, you can read it really quick. I'll really quickly check something out here. Ray just said Saul flops down. Then Deo said bury his essence under a tree. Gilbert's 3. He will be a Savarian tree confirmed. I don't know about that.
He's the new instead of mother, it'll be father. The Savari.
Yeah.
Which, I was kind of hoping. Well, I guess it would be weird, but it would be cool if they brought the code in as a race to play.
That would be neat.
Because now we're also that's another thing is that when we're going to the Janthir, it seems like the Coden are going to be there. It's going to be a different type of pack of Coden, but so not so much of the polar bear looking ones, but it looks like the brown bears and stuff like that. So I am curious on
Teddy bears.
how that's going to work out and what their actual tie is too. So yeah, they look totally different from the actual Coden from the snowy places. They look like actually like big old grizzly bears.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear about their lore. I mean, just in general, like I'm excited about having expansions in these other areas of the map. I particularly love any sort of northerly things because Norns. Um, but that's one area, up in the sort of, if we look at the big map, there's like the Janthir Bay, Isles of Janthir area, and like Woodland Cascades. That hasn't really been touched much, and be cool to kind of like look in there. Maguma Wastes, between like Maguma Wastes and Horn of Maguma, there's a lot of empty land. That looks like that's probably more like kind of Silver Waste deserty area.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Forsaken Thicket, which is Wing 3, is in there. And like it seems like it'd be kind of cool to maybe go there, but I would probably want to go into the lands to our east, which there's a lot of open stuff. Or if you pull the map all the way over to like so you're as far west as you can go, there's like a little bit of an island or continent poking out on the side of the map there. And I want to know what's going on over there.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I do have a question since you've been at least doing fractals. And
Hmm?
last time we talked about it, but we didn't really fiddle with it. How's your experience with the new fractal? I hear it's like a hot mess.
It is. Yeah. So there's a little bit of the whole like how for the fuck, what are they called? The boxes in Soto that you like
Mm-hmm.
pick, the astral chests or whatever, and the little game you gotta play to open them up. So it's kind of annoying because the first couple events of that fractal, you have to go and do that, and you gotta like do it 10 times to have it
What?
complete. That's just like 7 was already pushing it for me, which is like the greater arcane chests. Now you gotta do it 10 times, and then you have to have your friends keep some ads off of you while it happens.
Ugh.
It's just it's annoying, but I mean it's not the worst thing in the world. Um you do get to fight Deimos and Ceres at the same time, which I think is pretty fun
That
that they
sounds
kind of have
fun.
them both in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Deimos's mechanics are absolutely trivial compared to the raid, which I mean makes
Oh.
sense, but it's just kind of funny after like seeing him in the raid so often. Um, and then you finally go and you fight Eparch, and yeah, that's just with the recent health nerf that they made to him, it's definitely a lot less painful. On just like typical tiers, we were able to clear it on Wing 4 like easily. Whereas when it first released, we tried to clear it on Wing 4, we were like having a rough time.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you your thoughts because you beat the story and everything. What was your? I just this backwards basically. What was your
Mhm.
final thoughts on just like understanding like how all that like epoch and everything, like the final like
How it wrapped up and
yeah,
everything.
like are you feeling a little bit underwhelmed or like knowing, or
Yeah,
do you feel like it was all right, and or like yeah.
it was underwhelming, the last installment.
And then they did
Um,
state that on there. It seemed like what we said, where it just felt like they had too many hats on in a sense, and it
mhm.
sounds like they're aware of that, and that's very good. I'm just, do you feel like we're going to see any change this first expansion, or do you feel like the changes won't happen until the next because it's going to take a bit because they already kind of have everything preset?
Hmm. I bet that we're gonna see maybe some changes, but yeah, I agree that like the lessons learned, since they already probably have most of this X pack ready to go, since they're releasing it like immediately after, we might not really see the full application of those lessons learned until the X pack after this one. Um, but I mean, I think that they can still apply it, probably to some extent of whatever they're working on, because they probably don't necessarily have all of it completely finished. You know, they since they do it in installments over the whole year,
Right.
the ones that are later on in the pack, you know, they probably have a chance to be like, okay, how can we make sure that we like just really focus our energy on the parts that are important in this and like trying to make it like as interactive as we can.
Yeah, because they're only going
Um,
to have two maps available, they said, for this first expansion. That the other two would be released after because they're not ready yet. So,
okay, yeah, so maybe that's kind of like part of how they're applying that there, which I
yeah.
mean, I also just really enjoyed that lessons learned post that they did. I think it's really good for communicating to the community that they're like, "Hey, this is where we're at. Like we know and we
We
recognize that
heard, we
like
listened. Hmm.
exactly, and we're like, here's what we're gonna
Yeah, because
do
I'm
to
going to be
try to change
honest.
it."
If they didn't make that post, I was very much on the edge that I
Hmm.
was feeling like this game was kind of going downhill because like
Same.
I said, the story was meh.
There's too many holes, too
Uh,
many.
It
It
wasn't
was
even
It
just too many.
started great,
Yeah, it
and
started
then
off
yeah,
really
it just kind
great,
of
and then they give you a
nosedived.
person who just was like, "Poof out! I'm hurting myself for my king," and then you're just like, "Who is this person? I give no fucks to them. Like I'm just here, guys." And then like 10 minutes later, they basically off themselves in a way, and then you're just like, "Okay, well." Cool, moving on. And then you get to the last part, and then even then, it just felt like the story to build up why they did it. It was like, okay, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I just felt weird. It just all of it just felt a little off. Towards the end, it just felt like they had to like wrap it up quickly, and they're just like, okay,
yeah,
let's throw this in here,
too rushed. Yeah, too
and then
which
rushed.
is
even like
something
you
that
expect a big bad boss fight, felt weak. Felt like I could just
absolutely
have my arm tied behind my back and still kill him.
it
So
was
yeah,
He was
anticlimactic.
cool looking,
yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, and I think that you know, like you said, if they hadn't put out that lesson learned post, yeah, I would have yeah thought it was kind of going downhill, because this is not the first time this has happened.
nope,
They consistently bite off more than they can chew. And granted, like I appreciate what they're trying to do. Like the when they
Right.
do have the available time to really work on things and get everything done, it's great. But it just sucks because like with the way, you know, maybe they don't have enough staff. Well, they probably don't. It feels like most places don't have enough staff to work on everything these days. And so then you just kind of have to learn how to temper things. Or I mean, there's a lot of games out there too where they will just be like, "Hey, I know we said we were going to release it at this time, but we're just not ready yet, and so
mm-hmm.
we're going to push it
Hmm.
back a little bit."
I'd
And
rather
personally,
they
when games
say,
do that, I'm not
yeah,
mad. Go ahead.
me either.
Let me get my full money's
Yeah,
worth.
because it was
Hmm.
just more frustrating too. Because the last story bit was just like it just felt like we talked to her for a hot moment, and then it's like, okay, now go do this event, fill this bar up, and then
Right, and see,
come talk to her
we
for like
messed
Mhm.
up.
2 minutes
We
again,
had to
go fill the
we
bar
did
again.
we did the event before we finished the story.
That's what they wanted you to do, actually.
No, they wanted us to do it in the story first.
Oh, I thought I read somewhere that they wanted
No, because we're
the
like, what the hell are we doing here? Because we were
yeah,
doing that line. You had to do the achieve, go to so many events or whatever for part of the story. And we figured we go there because you get more, because there's little events when you do
yeah.
that stuff. Better do it all at once, get that done. No, it should block you from going to that until you complete that part because we're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I am not a like I understand where they're coming from when they add that like fill this event bar thing in, because there's various story
Agreed.
pieces that they have like out in the world that they want you to pick up on and stuff like that. But I'm also just not really a big fan of it because it's not guided in any
I
way,
don't
shape,
like
or
that
form,
either
and
because
it
if I'm
feels kind of
busy,
lazy.
yeah, and if you're busy fucking fighting, like I'm not gonna be looking
Here,
down at my
scroll on.
left chat box trying to keep up with whatever dialogue or something I
Yep.
find. And if it's just like a book, it's like
Mhm.
I don't want to play like find a needle in the haystack to find some kind of book that was like stuffed in like some bush in a rock deep in a corner crevice behind a bunch of like just either put the lore somewhere more accessible
Put
and
it down.
as we're playing, I don't know.
Put it down.
It's a rough. It's definitely
Yeah.
one of those things. So I'm kind of glad because if that newsletter did not come out, I probably would be sad. So
Go get your sister.
because it was kind of going down.
Mhm. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll see where things are at with the next one.
I'm hoping the
Um,
Raiders will be satisfied enough
mhm.
because yeah, that's something we needed. I do hope that
Oh, they'll
the
still complain, but
oh
they'll also be
yes,
happy.
everybody will complain about
Everyone's
anything,
still gonna complain
everything.
in every
Just like
community, yeah.
fractals and that's why I'm like the only part I do agree with the world world is it needs to be toned down to 30 days instead of 60 while they're testing it. Just
Mhm.
because yeah, you have this whole like server unsighted balanceness going on.
Mhm.
Especially if you have friends connected with friends to play. So yeah, that part I do agree. As for a raid, hopefully it'll give you guys some more food to munch on for now. And then my only other thing is like I'm guessing because tier 2 legendary now armor for like the little dying part, whatever. I'm wondering if they're gonna do like a tier 3 and a tier like if they're gonna do any more or if they're just gonna leave it at that. So
I don't know.
Hmm.
and I'm also I want to know what that spear looks like. I want to know if I'm gonna waste my
Oh, the
time or
new
not.
legendary, yeah.
Question. No, yeah, my question is the underwater legendary going to be able to be used like we thought as a land
Yeah,
spear?
it is. That's
Yeah.
what
Okay.
Shaman was also showing,
All of the skins and everything, like
and I think they
they're
stated in the letter
considered the
too.
same weapon,
Yeah,
which is why you
Okay.
specifically can't have it equipped both as underwater and
yeah,
land.
yep, yep. But no, I think that today that's like pretty much it. We just wanted to catch up on like the stuff. Is there anything in particular that you caught your eye or uh
That we haven't thought
yeah
of
before
that
we
oh
sign off?
Serene got kicked.
oh
Yeah, you
what?
got because you didn't move. That's what happened earlier with me.
Hold
Yeah.
on, coming back.
That's just Larif big and on screen.
Big old kitty cat.
Oh, that is not what I.
What? What?
That's not what I meant to do. Forgot I changed my tonic.
Oh, goddamn.
God dang.
What, was she naked? Did I miss mommy?
No, mommy's here. Oh, now I'm in the
Oh shit. I cut
no,
mommy's head off.
that's funny.
God.
I love the top on this. I would wear that top. It's a
Oh,
fun
these
top.
are the new swimsuits if you're,
Mhm.
Oh, and that's
interested.
everyone. Yeah. So you got people that like them and people who don't.
Oh, you should stand up Kit and show the beach to show that how everybody's down here at the cove on the
Oh
beach.
yeah, it's so fun. There's a little less than there were
Yeah,
earlier,
there was a
but when we
bunch here.
first ported in, everyone was down there in their little beach chairs. And there's a bunch of people on skiffs right now. People just been hanging out.
Yeah, they figured out a way to do it. Because when you go down the beach, it automatically puts you in the regular swimsuit, and you can't pull out chairs. So people have figured out you do a tonic or something on the edge and come in and then hop out of the tonic, and you'll be able to
Okay, well,
pull out your beach chair.
embiggening tonic doesn't do it.
They said something a combat tonic. The Rhea, I think what it
Hmm.
was. It's
Yeah, this one's supposed to be a combat
Ray
tonic.
that's in our Twitch chat. She's in
Yeah.
out there, and she said that's how she did it. Because I'm like, huh? How you guys got these out? It won't let me. It says you can't use this in an instance, whatever.
Yeah, it keeps changing me back. It must need to be a specific tonic.
Either a specific or a certain
I
spot.
see everybody's out here partying and having fun, and
God damn.
they
Sorry.
need to
I'm
change
just
this
looking
so
at
we
the
can
eye
have a.
candy around here. Don't mind me.
Oh, she found a mommy.
Just,
She found a mommy.
A miniature tonic.
just staring at the north.
Is that what she said? A miniature tonic? Use
Oh,
a miniature
miniature.
tonic before
So the-
entering the beach.
That's the mystery plant tonic. Where's the mini? Endless
Use
miniature
a
tonic.
miniature tonic before
Hi,
entering
Ray.
the beach.
Okay, use it right
enter,
here.
And then use the tonic
I
again.
go tiny, and then I walk in there. And then I
Yeah,
use
and
it
then you gotta
again.
use it again.
Oh, it's specifically. How did someone figure that out? Oh my
I
god.
know. Did it work?
Nice.
I'm gonna have to buy tonics. All my tonics are in my novelties thing.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just use your novelty. Like, it's the miniature tonic that you need to use.
But you can't hit it again though when you come in.
That's why it
Right?
has to be the miniature tonic.
Oh, okay.
So it's specifically the miniature tonic. You grab it and you use that one, the endless miniature tonic, and then you walk in and you use it again. And then when you use it again, it doesn't actually turn you into mini. It just gives you your normal shit back.
Interesting. What? They should just go ahead and edit this corner of the
Beach, I know.
page. Yeah.
Hefty cogs over here.
That's what I was saying. That's who I was looking at. I was like, God dang.
Yeah.
I walked by. I didn't want to make it too obvious. I was like, I don't want to be a creeper or anything.
she's checking her out.
Just walking by, checking out everybody. I'm like, God dang. These char boys are doing pretty good too. They got it going on. Char girlies and char boys. Yep.
Let's see. Okay.
Look at that. That's real cute.
Yeah, this is fun.
The swim thing is really good. That was a good ad for sure. And I'm glad
And
it's
people have
armor
been asking
pieces,
for forever.
So now you can mix
Yeah, that
and
worked.
match. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep, that worked.
Yeah.
Yay! Now you got a
Yay.
thing.
Now I can pull out my chair and join the people and have fun.
Exactly.
I do kind of wish that we could choose what our swimsuit is when the game like forces you into a swimsuit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. So then when you do like diving goggles and shit, it can be whatever you want.
There's a Tinku. Where is this from? This little
The
Tinku.
Tanuki?
Yeah.
That's my Tanuki.
Where is that
What?
from?
You get him from fishing, I believe.
What?
And
Now I gotta add that on my list because I'm on.
I gotta find you guys. Where'd you go?
We're right here.
I'm with the dance party.
Okay.
Mini Tanuki. You get him. You have to have the mastery local legend, so
Yeah.
max fishing. Then you buy him from Ukayo Sea Feather, which I'm pretty sure that guy is in Arborstone, for 50 ascended fish fillets and 100,000 karma.
I'm in Heart of Thorns like a dummy. Sorry, that's in End of Dragons. Yeah, okay, I have that. Okay. Alright, I'll have to check that out, because I definitely need to get me one.
It's so cute.
It's a cute one, yeah.
I love the Tanuki.
I hope they come out with more pets, too, for the new expansion as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see what kind of pets they do.
I hope we get dogs. We got big enough land to have dogs, damn it. Please. Thank
Holy
you.
some
Love you forever. Never
wolfies.
bitch and complain again.
Bunch of wolves. I could imagine them living up in that area.
I want
Definitely.
corgis and German shepherds. Thank you. And weenie dogs for my grandbabies.
So many doggies. So many cats.
Yeah,
Well-
but there's more variety of friggin' dogs.
If there's nothing else you want to say or give a heads out, I will do a sign out so that Zoe can go off and do her
Yes.
thing, and I can do
Her
my dinner.
real life thing.
Yep. I want to
Nope,
say
I'm
thank you,
fine.
chat, for hanging out with us and chatting with us. Next month, I haven't set a date yet for when the next podcast is. I don't know if we will. We'll have to see because there's not a lot going on right now. There's like the typical like events or whatever that's going on. I think Bash Dragon still going or no? Or is it
What?
done? Is Bash
Dragon
over-
Bash is
yeah,
done.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
then
Dragon Bash is
what's
done.
coming
Now
up
it's World
next?
versus World.
World v World, and then isn't there another
I
summer
think
event?
it 4 Winds
Four
or
Winds?
Venture Box. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
No,
4 Winds
Adventure
is
Box
coming
has
up.
already happened, so then it's 4 Winds. Yeah.
I'm excited for
So
4 Winds because I have a
maybe
bunch of
we'll have
materials I've
news.
been saving up.
No,
Yeah.
save it. You're gonna need it for the housing.
No,
Yeah.
she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
I'll probably be okay. Like, I have so much mithril, like, it needs to go away. But, I also have, like, green wood and, like, jute and stuff. Like, I don't think those ones are really going to be used, so I'm fine with spending those.
All right. Well, let's sign off. Where can they find you, Zoa? And like, make sure you put your Twitch, and also you can advertise the guild if you want to, real quick, as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZoaLera. That's Zoa, as you see on the stream, and then Lerah. I usually stream full clear raids on Sundays, sometimes Guild Wars 2 Girls raids on Thursdays, and then I dual stream well, as of yesterday, now dual streaming anyway, to the Snow Coast Twitch and my Twitch, like specific profession classes. Like yesterday, we did a dual stream where Snow Crows debuted our what we call accessa builds, which are basically modular builds that allow you to, have as low of APM as just like 12 actions like a minute, which is like pretty low, which is nice for if, like maybe it's a tired day, maybe you're differently abled, and so you can't like click 50 buttons
That'd
at
be
once.
helpful
Or what
for
about
people like
me? You
Serene.
don't make me a build that I can go in and play.
That's what
That's
she
not
said.
so
That's
clickety-clucky.
what they're doing.
Mhm.
That's what she just said.
Exactly. And you can kind of plug and play how complex you want it to be. It's really neat. Highly recommend checking it out. Feel
Okay.
free to give Snow Crow's feedback either on Snow Crow's help desk, or you can even
Is
just
the
give it
builds
to
already
me.
up there, or you said it's
Mhm.
soon? Okay. And then
Yeah, they're
what's
up there.
And what's it
We
under the same time? Like if you just go to builds, or is it like under
Mhm.
difficulty, or what?
So if you're at snowcrows.com, well, let me actually go there as well. And you go to the builds one, and all the way on the right, you'll see accessibuilds.
Okay, there you go.
Right
So-
now, we have almost one build for each like profession. There's still, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Anything
5,
for
6.
Dragon Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, specifically, yeah, the one Guardian accessible build that we have right now is specifically
Then
Dragon
you'll
Hunter.
have no excuse not to raid.
Oh, yeah, because I got all
Mhm.
ascended and stuff. So
So those are great. We're gonna have more coming out, and then yeah, feel free to give feedback. You can direct it to me, or you can direct it to the Snowcrest help desk. Definitely loving to be able to hear how the community is feeling about those. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 Girls, we raid on Thursdays, and I usually stream that. We are a guild for female identifying and non-binary individuals, so feel free to shoot me a message if you are interested in that. I'll also, the 2470, that is my in-game name if you want to get a hold of me that way.
Put it on
Later
the
this
site.
month, huh?
Put it on the site too for us on
Okay.
like, the YouTube comment thing.
Perfect. In July, I'll be doing a dual stream of a profession class, highlighting Revenant. So Umbra is going to be joining us there. He's one of the Revenant pros. So if you've got any questions about the way that build works or want some feedback on rotation, that's a good opportunity for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the guild is kind of coasted along right now. We have our regular raffles and weekly events. We already had our spring party. We're probably not going to do a summer specific one, but we'll have ones in fall and winter. Yeah, I think that covered everything.
Good. And then, Serene, what about you? Sign off. What's your thing?
just don't have no sign off. Just hi, bye. If you have any questions, I'm Serinetempest. .9027 in Guild Wars 2. If you want somebody to hang out with or go do things with, hit me up. I can show you. I don't raid. I'm trying to get into raiding, and I can do fractals, and I can do basically everything else. Just hit me up. That's about it. Looking forward to the X Pack.
She's just busy being a corgi mom. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corgi mom.
And then you can find me at Kit the Traveler. I stream on this channel, obviously. I'm a mix between Guild Wars and Final Fantasy XIV and Dead by Daylight. And then my Twitter, same thing, Get the Traveler. All my other socials, Get the Traveler. YouTube, Get the Traveler. So I'll probably put this video on the YouTube so that any parts that had advertisements or whatever should be not interrupted when watching on YouTube or listening on YouTube. So yeah, other than that, let's sign off, say our goodbyes.
All right.
Goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thank
Have a
you
great day.
all.